basically when they're around the corner, just simplify it, 1 hour, 2 sets of tires, mandatory pit, one crashing tire. There is no penalties. Welcome everybody to another edition of the VVR Road Series powered by Chop Shop. Well, this is week 3 at Watkins Glen. Race is just about to start here in a second. All the guys are about to get ready to start gridding up. It's going to be a beautiful day at Watkins Glen. Roughly in the 80 degrees. Partly cloudy, a little bit of wind, not too bad. Initially the guys thought they were going to get some rain, but evidently not. Tonight's going to be, or this afternoon's going to be a beautiful 1 hour race for these GTPs and GT3 cars. Playoff race number 3 in the second season of the VVR Road Series. We are missing a couple of guys today. Some of the top guys are out this week. I'm not 100% sure what the reason for it. David Steiner and Nathan Biggert in the GT3 class, they're out. Caffrey sitting in third as well is out. So a lot of guys such as Kobe Hartong, Wesley Strait, Tyler Hammond, Mark Retchen, they're going to gain a ton of points today. Thaddeus Marshall was leading the GTP series, but he's not going to, looks like he didn't make it today. Steven Salas and Chris Roberge are going to be the only 2 GTP cars out on the circuit. So they're definitely going to have a substantial gain as well. So we'll see how this pans out today. Looks like Steven Salas got the pole in the GTP, where Chris Robert is going to be sitting outside. Kobe Hartung got the pole for the GT3 cars, along with Sean Atkins, Mark Retchen, Brad Dove, Austin Diltz, Morgan Smith, Tyler Hammond, and Robert Church is going to be doing the RC, and he'll be coming up into the booth here in just a split second. Let's get this race rolling. Let's see what's going to pan out. So beautiful Watkins Glen. Obviously, if you've ever been at Watkins Glen, turn one is probably the most chaotic. Some of these guys were talking that they wanted the bus stop this week, but we went with the classic boot, and it does not include the bus stop. So they're going to go straight into that winding right-hander versus usually going sharp into the bus stop, turning left, and going back around. It should add some additional speed going into the corner, so they're going to have to be careful not to take it too hot. Slide up the track, hit the wall, their night's going to be over. But these guys do have one faster pair, so they are going to be eligible to go into the pits if need be and take that faster pair. All right, we're watching them live here. Looks like most of these guys are gridded, and once they grid, you're going to see the GTP cars, those two cars in front, take a little lead, get a gap from the GT3 cars, and then you're going to see those guys start to go. The initial start is going to be on the RC. You might hear Robert Church through this stream say go, 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 and that's when these guys are allowed to go, and the racing's going to start. It is a 1 hour session, timed 1 hour session. These guys get 2 sets of tires, 1 faster pair, and they do have to take a mandatory pit. We're riding here with Chris Robert and Steven Salas. You can see the gap that they've given the GT3 cars. They're going to be following the pace car, this beautiful Porsche iRacing safety car that got around. It is a full parade lap. It's not going to be a short one, so we're going to be here for about 2 minutes before this race does go green. Cycle through the field a little bit, take a look at some of these beautiful paints. Here's Kobe Hartung in the Storm Racing BMW. Sean Atkins in that chrome-looking Porsche, beautiful-looking paint job. Mark Retchen, a fan favorite in that Audi 24 car. Brad Dove, don't you want to get Dove? He's in the black Ferrari. Austin with matching paints with Morgan. Austin is in the Audi, Morgan also in the Audi. Tyler rounding up the back of the field in the Porsche. All right, lights are off on the pace car. They're coming around. Be about another 30 seconds or so before they're sent off. Beautiful place, Watkins Glen. This is one of the all-time favorites of the league owner, John Hammond. He loves this track. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to race today. He's working hard trying to save some money for, I'm assuming, a fish tank. He's been working 20, 30 days in a row. Otherwise, he would have been here, and he definitely would have been a top competitor. This is one of the tracks that we would consider one of the easier circuits in the series, and not necessarily because it's a cookie-cutter track. It's that the majority of these drivers have a ton of laps laid down at this track at one point or another, in one vehicle or another. Generally, most of these guys usually have run this circuit either in a GT3 car or class, and a lot of them have done it in the oval cars as well. So they're very, very familiar with this track. However, the actual layout this time is without the bus stop. So it's going to be slightly different than what they're used to. They're going to be carrying a little bit more speed when it comes to the bus stop. So they got to be careful. All right, looks like the pace car will be coming off here in just a split second. Steven Salas and Chris Robert are going to get the green. We're going to watch them take the green and then cycle back to the GT3 cars and watch them go. There's the pace car. Here we go. And they're off. Robert Church just let them go. Chris Robert's taking the lead. Steven Salas is just going to fall back. Oh no. It looked like Steven Salas was going to fall back behind, but doesn't look like it. Let's look at the GT3 cars. There we go. Mr. Hartung took the jump. Wants to get into the lead, make sure he gets that clean air up front. Sean Atkins right behind him. Mark Retchen running third. Let's jump in one of their cockpits and take a look at what they're seeing. Retchen's cockpit is going up the hill. So this is where the bus stop would be right here. This is where the layouts change. Generally, this is a braking zone right here. You're going to see some letters to them. They would have gone right to the right where those cones are at. But we've set them straight through. And they're going to carry all that speed down to this right-hander and then to a left-hander. Robert, you got a copy? You made it into the booth?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right, there he is. Robert Church was out down there just a split second ago, making sure that everybody gets a proper start. He just ended up giving them the go-ahead. Each driver has to wait until they're either at a start, at a straightaway where the guys can then take off at that point with an RC command. There's a good racing going on in third, fourth, and fifth place between Mark Retchen, Austin, and Morgan. Austin all over Retchen.
Yeah, 6.6 miles is Watkins Glen. It's the birthplace of American road racing. So it's located in Dix, New York, which is a beautiful area if nobody's ever been to. From what I understand, there's like 19 different waterfalls you can check out and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll see how this race goes. That'll be a good race.
It looked like Mark just was feeling the pressure from Sean and just pulled over to the side and let Sean go, and Morgan picked up the slack, took the draft, got around Retchen. So it's Austin. At this point right now, it's Chris Robert, Steven Salas, 1-2 in the GTP class, Kobe Hartung leading the GT3 class, Sean, Austin, Morgan rounding out the top 4 in the GT3 circuit. Retchen dropping back behind the other Audi, Morgan. And it looks like they're just trying to find somewhere to get these tires nice and warm, find their pace. Tyler Hammond's in it this week, back in his Porsche Kraken. Beautiful looking Porsche car. And then we got Brad Dove rounding out the back. This is a local track for Brad. Brad did mention that's really close to where he lives, as well as I think he said Wesley. So this is a local track, yeah, for Wesley Strait, as well as Brad Dove. So we're expecting some of these local boys to do good today.
Yeah, it's good to see Tyler back. I'm missing a couple drivers, it looks like, Nate Bigart being one of them, and a couple of the GTP guys, Thaddeus Marshall and James Pierce, and I think there's maybe another person we might be missing that I can't think of.
Yeah, it's a smaller field than we anticipated, to be honest with you. I thought Watkins Glen was going to be one of those tracks that everybody was going to want to show up and run. For whatever reason or not, it's going to be a smaller field today. We've been having not as many GTP cars show up towards the tail end of the season, but that, Chris Robert and Steven Salas ain't going to complain about that. They're basically running for a championship in their series. As you can see, they're running hard up front. Chris Robert does have a slight gap on Steven, about a 1 second gap.
We got a wreck, Striker. We got a car crashing sideways. It looks like it's going to be, it spun around. Everybody missed him though. So
he made the pass. He was coming up and he made the pass and then just lost it. Let's see if we can look at it slightly slower. We're going to go chopper cam. Let's take a look at what happened. See, they're going up the hill. He's making the pass on the outside, which is doable in these cars. But where did he end up losing it? Did he touch the apron? Yep, he got under the rumbles.
Yeah, good awareness by Austin Diltz, Morgan Smith, and Mark Gretchen avoiding that. That could have been a lot worse than it is.
Yeah, you can carry so much speed going up the hill there, but oh man, it just a little hair. It didn't even look like he overcorrected. It just, as soon as the car came back settled off of the rumble strip, it ended up spinning him for him. Way to go for Morgan and Austin. Both of them missed it. It looks like it's just a single car accident. It didn't impact anybody other than Sean. Sean had tons of speed today. Bad things happening for Sean, but good news is he's got a faster pair in the event that he does need it. I don't think he's going to want to use it so early because it didn't look like he hit too hard. But if he paces himself, starts running some clean laps, he'll get back to the front, no problem.
Yeah, the first race of this track, they've been running here since 1948. Post World War II, they ran their first race here, so it's been around a while. They repaved the entire course back in 2015, and the new part of the track, I don't know how much newer it is, but is the boot. The boot, it was finished in time for the Formula One. Formula One Grand Prix runs here quite often. It's kind of a big race that they run here. And I believe it says here 1971, so it's been around a while. I guess it's 2024.
Looks like everybody has fallen into the places that they want to be. It looks like the closest current race right now is between Mark Retchen and Morgan Smith, about 2 seconds off of Morgan. Pretty much everybody's got a gap in between them, so that looks like everybody's just finding somewhere to run and lay down some laps. I know the stage is at lap 15. They do get stage points. Remember, it is a houred event. It is a timed hour event, though, so there is no lap count per se, even though we do tally it. However, the race does end when the timer for 1 hour expires.
Yeah, they also they've got one mandatory pit, so everybody's going to have to pit at least once. They've got 2 sets of tires, one on the wall and one on the car. So I'm pretty sure when everybody makes that mandatory pit stop, they will take that set of tires.
Yeah, we're running with Tyler Hammond at the moment, just watching him lay down some clean laps. Let's jump in his cockpit and see what he's seeing. He's slowly but surely running down Retchen. Retchen's about a second and a half in front of Tyler.
So turns 1 and 2 is a passing zone. On the right side is where you want to pass. But you want to make sure on the turns 1 and 2, no one's exiting the pits. You can safely pass an exiting cars since it should stay to the right all the way to the apex on turn 2, and the driving line is on the left. So 1 and 2, all these straightaways in between the corners is great passing. So if you get a good exit, you got a good chance of passing someone.
Yeah, Watkins Glen's got a ton of areas where they can pass. It's nice and wide, it's smooth, it's not very bumpy. And I was making mention of it earlier, most of these guys are extremely familiar with this actual track. The layout might be a little bit different without the bus stop, but each one of these drivers, they've probably been here hundreds of times. So it should be a really good race. Steven Salas up front did pass Chris Roberge and has taken the lead. It looks like Sean also entered the pits not too long ago after going back off the track for a little while. Let's see if he... Oh, he crashed it again. No, he didn't. Nope. That was the original. He's just going into the pits probably to take his faster pair.
Get some of that damage fixed.
Yeah, he's taking tires. He went and took tires, probably fueling up.
Yeah, turns 2, 3, and 4. They're called the S's. And it's pretty. I mean, looks like a big bunch of fast S's. And 2, 3, and 4. Um, Turn 5 is the inner loop or the bus stop or the carousel. Turn 6 is called the laces, and it's coming downhill after turn 5. Turn 7 is called the toe. It's a steep uphill after the downhill section.
Steven Salas has caught the back half of the GT3 group. He's already getting around Tyler, and he's making quick work of Mark Retchen. It's crazy how fast these GTP cars are in comparison to these GT3s. And Steven Salas took the lead. He's definitely pushing it. He's running some good laps. He's currently the fastest guy on the track right now running. His last lap was a minute 31.11. Roberge ran a 132.2, and everybody else is in the 140s. So Steven Salas putting down the heat. He probably wants to win after not having the greatest race at Mount Panorama last week. Even though he was in the lead at one point, he just ended up wrecking it once or twice and ended up finishing in the back half of the field. There he goes. He's back around.
Oh,
was that Austin? No, that was Morgan.
Yeah, we got Mark Retchen pulling in the pits.
Retchen has entered the pits.
Maybe to get those tires early or something, or make his mandatory pit stop early.
He did not wreck. He did not wreck. So this is either an unscheduled pit stop or it's strategy for him, one of the two. But he did not wreck. So I'm curious what Mark was doing.
You were talking about Steven Salas. Man, dude, he's really been, he's surprised me all year long in this road racing. But maybe that's what he's good at. I mean, he's really shown that he can wheel a car around these road tracks. Yeah, Steven Salas is, he surprised me this year. So we'll see if he can get the win today.
He's been one of those drivers we didn't, walking into the season, if I would have said Steven Salas would have had the opportunity to win a GTP championship, I would have told you you're crazy. And it's not that I don't believe that Steven Salas could do it, but the GTP class was full of road ringers. However, slowly but surely, they've either had some issues where they weren't able to show up due to work, or other situations have arisen, and Steven Salas has just been slow and steady, right? Showing up every week, being consistent, being fast at every track, staying out of trouble, getting as many points as he can week in and week out, and now he's in the hunt for a GTP championship. Not only that, he's leading here at Watkins Glen, making a statement. These guys, it's a 4-race first round of the playoffs, and then there's a cutoff after 4 races. So this is race number 3 of the first round. So he's just stacking up those points and making sure he can get as far ahead as he can of the other guys. And he's broken away from Chris Roberge right now. He's got about a 7-second lead on Chris Roberge.
Yeah, he's been pretty impressive all year long. Last week, Chris Roberge won his first road race at Bathurst. And so I guess it's Steven's turn.
Well, never count out Chris Roberge or anybody else on this circuit, because last week it was Thaddeus Marshall that was out in front, and it looked like he had the dominant car in the GTP class. And what ended up happening, he ended up totaling him twice, used up his fast repair, and wasn't able to finish the race because I guess he was just trying to run down some hot laps, and it ended up costing him the win. And Chris Roberge, just slow and steady, just like Steven. He's going to lay down laps. He's going to do his best to keep the car clean, make sure he makes it to the end, and he was the fastest car at the end. So sometimes slow is fast.
Yeah, it's a quote that I've always said growing up, and still to today, is it ain't over till it's over. And it goes with anything, racing, football, anything. I told my son, my stepson, when he played high school football, he was getting down because they were losing or whatnot, and I'd always tell him, it ain't over till it's over. And that's how this racing goes too. I mean, it could come down to the last lap. It's not over till it's over, till that checkered flag. So anything can happen. Watkins Glen, everybody has a good idea about, so it ought to be a good race.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. In these longer events, this would be considered a short endurance race, I guess. I mean, really not endurance. It's an hour in length, but a lot of things can happen during this hour. You can have mechanical failure. You can have, I mean, this is a simulator. You might have some technical issues at home. Computer goes out, your internet goes out. We've had that happen in the past, so you're never out of it. It's always best suited to just keep your pace. Don't outdrive the car. Just race the track, stay focused, and make it to the end. You might get lucky from time to time. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And in this case, Chris Robert has just shown that. He's been both lucky and good. And obviously he got his win, his first win ever in the Chop Shop Series, Road Series, at Mount Panorama, which is one of the tougher tracks in the circuit. I don't know if anybody's ever raced out there, but that's in Australia. Man, it's got elevation change, sharp turns, and it's fast. So he did a wonderful job making sure he took the checkered.
Yeah, that really looked like a cool track. I've never been on it, but broadcasting, it looked really cool. So now that I've got it, I might have to try to run it sometime. It looks like a lot of fun compared to some of these we've been to. It's funny that you said endurance, because I believe there's a 6-hour endurance race coming up here.
Correct. Actually, you're right. It's not. I don't know the exact date. A lot of these guys, they have been running some of these endurance series when iRacing puts up some endurance series. In fact, there was a group of 11 guys in the Chop Shop Series that just recently ran the Nürburgring 24 last weekend, and boy was that a workout. And they're all planning on running the major series, which is at Le Mans, and that's going to be, I believe, June 8th. There's currently a team of 6 guys that are running 24-hour at Le Mans. It isn't an official iRacing event. However, it is one of those events that a different sponsor puts up that you can join. And it's going to be just as competitive, if not more even competitive, because it does carry an entry fee, as well as they provide you awards and stuff. So a lot of these guys are going to be running that. There's 2 Oval Series events that some of these guys are going to be running here in the near future. I know the Indy 500's coming up, and this week it's the Coca-Cola 600? Is that what they call it, Charlotte? So those are 2 Oval events, and those are, I mean, they're not considered endurance events, but they're easily 3-4 hour races where you don't have teammates. And then the next true road series event that iRacing is going to put forth, I want to say, is at this track, Watkins Glen 6 hours.
It's 6 hours of Glen, and that'll be on June 14th through the 16th. It's an iRacing special event, so June 14th through the 16th, they'll be doing 6 hours here for anybody interested. I ran some practice laps last night in the Dallara 18 at Indianapolis just to see what it had. And I'll tell you what, man, that thing was a blast. And was I flying 230 mile an hour?
It's crazy. I mean,
that car, I was scared that car was not going to have enough grip and I was going to get loose. But, man, you can hold it wide open around them corners and it sticks. It flies and it sticks to the ground. So, I think the setup we got will be good for it. We'll find out, though. I think I'm going to try running it.
So not only do these guys run these league races, because this is considered a league race, generally they're going to be on the shorter side. These road races that we're currently watching is an hour in length. Most of the oval stuff is usually about 200 miles, so about an hour and a half as well. But iRacing puts on a wonderful special event program, generally about once a month. If you're not familiar with it, it's usually once a month. They always have awesome events where thousands and thousands of drivers enter, and it's different than what you're used to, because generally what you're used to is you're racing your competitor week in and week out, and in these events you get to partner up with them and your teammates. right? You got to work together to achieve an ultimate goal, which is get in a good position. And I do want, speaking of that, I want to give a shout out to one of our drivers. He was talking not too long ago, quite an accomplishment. Nate Biggert, him and his team, he runs a separate team outside of the league. And this year he's had a phenomenal, and when I say phenomenal, phenomenal year in his endurance events. I believe he finished third at the Nürburgring 24 with the team. Prior to that, there was was it the Spa 24? He finished second there, and then they ran, I might be wrong with the actual track, but it was the Panorama 12-hour. Either way, Bathurst. He might have the 12-hour, and they finished second there. So he's got a second, and a third when it comes to these events, and he's racing in some of the higher splits. So congratulations to you and your team. It's that Turtle Racing team that he runs with. Congratulations. He was making mention of that, and I wanted to make sure I took the time out and said, hey, we're glad to have you here in this Discord and part of the Chop Shop family, because when you're outside running, even when you're not running with us, you're always supporting us. You're making us look good, and congratulations on your success, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations to Nate Biggart on that. That's definitely an accomplishment in its own, to even get a top 3 in any of those endurance races. So if I were him, you get certificates for those, and I'm pretty sure he'll have them framed up and put up on the wall next to his rig, because that's pretty cool. Back to the Coke 600 special event that they're putting on, iRacing's putting on. The dates for that is May 21st through the 27th. So the Coke 600 started yesterday and goes, looks like 6 days till the 27th for that. The other special event, which is the Indy 500, is the day that the Coke 600 gets over, the Indy 500 starts. So it'd be May 27th, and it runs till June 2nd for that. So and I believe, let me look. June 2nd is Sunday. So on the June 3rd is our last race in the Dirt Series at Eldora. So coming down to the wire on the Dirt Series. So that ought to be pretty interesting. And we've got this Monday off due to Memorial Day. So May 27th through June 2nd is the Indy 500. And 21st through the 27th is the Coke 600.
Yeah, there's tons of events. That's the cool thing about iRacing. There's so many things that you can race, so many different series that you can participate. Get yourself with a good community, good league, pair up with some of these guys, and come out and race, man. Just have fun. You're gonna enjoy it. Some of these, there are some guys that are extremely competitive, but there's also guys that are just doing it for fun, for the experience. Mark Retchen, which runs the 24 Audi car here, that was his first experience in the Nürburgring 24 this weekend. And this guy, as well as Chris Roberge, they're machines. I swear, these guys were just Terminators in there, just laying down lap after lap after lap. Chris Roberge ran 4 hours with non-stop. I mean, obviously he had to pit, but he never got off of his rig for 4 hours. Came in, did 4 hours, did a stint, and then went to go spend some time with his family. I was so impressed when he did that. And then Mark Retchen did a wonderful job as well in the Nürburgring 24, where he came in and filled in when he needed. He ran multiple teams. I think there was a total of 8 hours that he ran in one night between 2 teams. So he was exhausted. There was at one point towards the tail end of that 24 where I had to relieve him, and he literally said he fell asleep on the straightaway, and he hit a rumble strip, and the force feedback woke him up.
Yeah, sorry to cut you short here, Striker, but Tyler Hammond's rolling down into the pits. He's in his box right now. And another thing I noticed, too, is Sean Atkins took it to the garage, so he called it a day. I'm not sure if something else happened to him, or if he just said, we're done with this.
Yeah, so I caught the Sean Atkins accident. He wrecked again, and we'll show it here for the fans one more time. He was coming down the straightaway, going into turn 1. He caught the grass. He just tried to angle it out a little bit too far wide, touched the grass, it spun him around, and he just went straight into the wall. If he used that fast repair in that first accident he had, his night might be over because that was a really, really hard hit. The
Yeah, so
race.
lap 4.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're coming close to that stage at lap 15. Tyler must have decided to take him a little bit early and pitted there on lap 13. He's back out on the track. So
Yeah, they're definitely getting close to the actual stage. If they haven't already surpassed it, you're going to start seeing some of these guys start to pit. Tyler went into pit. Retchen obviously was the last guy in pit. Sean just went into the pits to repair his damage. We're riding around a little bit with Retchen, but the real race right now is between Austin and Kobe for first and second. Austin had gotten him down to about 2.5 seconds. It looks like Kobe did pull on him a little bit. It's closer to 3 now, but first and second between Kobe and Austin. That's currently the race. Everybody else is pretty much multiple cars ahead or behind. But Austin's having a awesome race. He's about to get lapped again. Oh, there was a block there. Not a block, but just they weren't communicating very well. It looked like Chris Roberge almost got into him. But Austin, we're riding in his car right now. He's doing a heck of a job. He's running pretty much the same lap times as Kobe. Kobe last time around ran a 144.23, and Austin ran a 144.52. They're currently the fastest 2 guys in the GT3 class. Roberge as well as Steven, they're running in the 130, so they're going to be a little bit faster than these guys. But this is going to be something we're going to be paying attention to the remainder of the race. Kobe and Austin are going to be tooth and nail the entire time. I mean, and Morgan is not too far back. He's about 6 seconds from Austin as well. So first, second, and third, that's the race. That's the race tonight. You can see we're inside Morgan's car, and you can see Austin off into the distance at the end of the straightaway. So we'll see once they start going into pit who takes tires, who doesn't. That could impact how they cycle back out here in the next 5 or 7 laps or so.
Yeah, I'm watching Tyler Hammond here. So, he's already made his pit stop, so maybe that was a good move on his part. These other guys in front of him still got a pit, so let's see if he can make up some ground. And I'd like to see him get a top 3 today, but we'll see. That might have been a good move.
He's running just a little bit slower than the leaders, about a half a second slower than the leaders. So he's going to have to pick up some time if he wants to make some time up on Austin Morgan. Not only that, he's got a heavier fuel load than the leaders. So the leaders, even though they're on older tires, once these GT3 cars, once you actually burn off some fuel, you pick up so much in time. So Kobe, Austin, and Morgan, they're all running substantially lower fuel. They're going to be weighted less than Tyler, even though Tyler's in there with fresher tires.
Yeah,
Brad might take him a little while.
Brad Dove just made his pit stop, and Tyler got out around him there. So we'll move Tyler up a spot to looks like be 4th place. Brad Dove should be coming out of the pits here soon.
Steven Salas continues to lead the GTP series. Let's take a gander and see what the gap is right there. If Chris Roberge can see him. No, Steven Salas has pulled out an 8-second interval from Chris Roberge. So Steven Salas is business today. He means business. He's got that car dialed in. He's not making any mistakes. He wants to take a win today, and he's putting a hurting on Chris Roberge right now. He's consistently pulling on him and running about half a second faster than Chris at the moment. Congratulations to Steven. Keep up the good work. Let's see if you can finish strong. There's about 30 minutes left in the race.
Austin Dilt's making his pit stop. He's in his box right now.
Yes, he is. He just pitted.
Trying to see how far Tyler and them were behind Austin.
So
pulling out now.
Austin's going to try to short pit and undercut Kobe and Morgan, which isn't a bad idea. Let's see if he takes tires. It doesn't look like he's taking tires, but he is taking a full fuel load. I didn't see his car go up. I'm not sure if you did, but we're watching him in the pits. It looks like he's just taking a full fuel load. I don't believe he took tires, but I could be mistaken. I mean, he's been there long enough where he could easily have taken it, but I never saw the car lift off the ground. So Austin's coming out of the pits. Let's see where Morgan's at. They're coming around. Can Austin get in front of Morgan and Kobe? Yeah, he's going to get out. He's going to get out before them.
Kobe's in the pits.
Kobe just pitted. Yep, Kobe just pitted. Let's see if Kobe's going to take tires or not. Didn't look like Austin took tires, so let's see what Kobe's going to do. These guys do have pit speed limiters, so if you activate them, you can't really speed. So they can go in there hot, slam on the brakes, turn on that limiter, it'll stop the car. It won't allow the driver to go faster than a certain speed. I think this place is going to be 45 to 55 miles an hour. All right, let's take a look at his car, see if he goes in the air. Nope, Kobe looks like his car staying on the ground. Morgan just pitted behind Kobe, so he's following the leader. Looks like Kobe's just taking fuel. Morgan following suit. I don't see anybody taking tires unless it's an iRacing glitch and it's not showing us when they're taking tires, but they're definitely taking fuel. Kobe's out. And he's still currently ahead of Austin. Let's see where Austin's at. Austin's coming down the front straightaway now. Is he going to beat Kobe out? Nope, Kobe beat him out already. So, Austin was able to leapfrog Morgan. No. Austin was in second anyways, but Morgan was always sitting in third. Okay. So, the gap between Kobe and Austin is now 8 seconds. I think it was closer to 7 seconds before they pitted. So, Kobe gained a little bit on Austin there.
Yeah, your leader, Steven Salas, is in the pits making his pit stop. Which I believe puts Chris in the lead.
Let's take a look at see what Steven's going to do in his pit stop. Is he taking fuel? I'd like to see somebody actually take tires to make sure that we're able to see that. Usually when they take tires, you'll see their car go up a couple of inches off the ground. And then that's when you know they're taking tires. But in this case, every single guy we've looked at in the pits has stayed on the ground. So either they're taking fuel only or we're miscalculating it. Well, let's go to Chris Reverge.
Your new GTP leader is Chris Reverge over Steven Salas. GT3 is led by Kobe Hartung. And then Austin Diltz second, Morgan Smith third, Tyler Hammond fourth, Mark Retchen fifth, Brad Dove sixth, and Sean Atkins out of the race at scored seventh.
Is Sean still in the pits? Yeah, he's still in the pits. Chris Reverge.
You know, I'd hate to be the guy of tragic events, but July 9th of 2011, the most recent death that we've had on this track happened, and I want to say it was they call the chute is where that happened at, but altogether Watkins Glen has had 11 total deaths, tragic deaths. You know, that goes along with racing, so yeah, unfortunate. His name was Ken Bushell on July 9th, 2011.
It's never good to hear these bad news. Obviously, it occurred a couple years back. I'm sure they've improved the safety measures around the track, especially when incidents like that happen. However, it's automobile racing, right? You know, things are going to happen. And it's unfortunate, but these guys, when they strap in and they buckle up, they know the risks that they take. And I'm sure this is kind of a silly thing to say, but I'm sure they would have rather gone on the racetrack
Right.
versus,
Doing something you love to
yeah,
do. Right.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, doing something you love to do. Yep. Everybody just kind of spread out. Um, I was looking up track facts for Watkins Glen in New York, and a majority of them was just saying how beautiful the area is and how pretty it is, with all the waterfalls and the state parks and stuff like that. When I think of New York, I think of big city skyscrapers and stuff like that. But no, it's actually more country, rural settings in New York, and what I understand and what I've read, it's a pretty beautiful place.
I've never been out there. I've never visited New York, the New York area. It's definitely on the bucket list. But for those that have been out there in the past, or I'm sorry, for those that have been out there and have made the trek, they say, it's a sight to behold. Dove did make mention that this is one of his local tracks, and it's on the outskirts, I believe. So what did you say? It was in the rural areas, part
The
of it, but
rural
it's
areas, because
yeah.
when I think of New York, I think of the city and stuff, and I'm the type of person that would rather be in these rural areas. So, Watkins Glen might be a place in the future you might have to check out. I wonder if Doug's ever been there or Wesley Street.
I believe Dove said he had been out here, but hey, why don't we just drag him into the booth and see he
Yeah.
can give us an idea. We're gonna drag Brad Dove in here. Let me jump in his car, so when we watch him wreck, we can see it in real time. But let's drag Brad Dove in here. He's a local to this track. Let's get him in the tower and let's see what he has to say. Brad Dove, Michael Strickland in the booth, broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I think Robert Church has some questions for you.
Yeah, you said you live in New York, and this is pretty close to you. Have you ever been here?
Yeah, I've been to this track 5 times. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, from everything I've read in the track facts and everything I was looking up, this area is a really beautiful place. Like I was saying, when I think of New York, I think of the city and stuff, but no, there's actually really beautiful areas outside of the city. So,
This is up in between the Finger Lakes.
yeah, that's what they said. Bunch of waterfalls. It sounds like.
Yeah, there's some waterfalls, probably about 3 miles from the track, if not less.
Well, you heard that. If anybody ever gets a chance, go out there and you can look at waterfalls too, and the beautiful area just off
That's
the track.
about a 3.5-hour ride from Niagara Falls.
3.5 hour. How far are you from the track?
I'm about 45 minutes.
Nice, pretty close. All right, that's what I wanted to ask you. I'll let you go back down there, but there you heard it, Brad Dove. This is his own track. So.
Keep on pushing, Brad. We're watching you. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks.
All right, that was Brad Dove, the driver of the 25 Flat Black Mobile 1 Ferrari. He's currently running in 8th place, about 18 seconds off of Mark Retchen. Retchen, I would have, to be honest with you, I would have thought Retchen would have had a little bit better run than he's having today. Maybe he's just not feeling it. He's running in 7th. He's been giving everybody a lot of room, and that is kind of the Retchen style, right? Like he's gonna find a place to cruise. He's gonna hit his marks, and ideally, his end goal is gonna be finishing the race. But if I would have had to pick at the beginning of the race, especially with some of these heavy hitters not being in the race tonight, I would have said Mark Retchen had a great opportunity to be really good today. Maybe he's just not feeling it. I mean, he's running 7th at the moment, about 30 seconds behind a Tyler. I know he pitted earlier, so he might have had some technical difficulties or something going on, but it's good to see Retchen have some success.
If you pan over to the GTPs, Chris Roberge, Steven Salas is right behind Chris Roberge here, and this will be for the lead. They're bumper to bumper.
Yeah, that's right. You called it right at the moment. Steven Salas is pressuring Chris Roberge. Steven Salas, from what I can see, just based off of the times, Steven Salas is faster. His last lap time was a second and a half faster than Chris Roberge. Now, that could have been Chris got behind some lap cars and slowed down, or Chris likes to start slow. Either way, Steven Salas is about his business today. He's running some quick laps. He was just... Oh, they mirrored their lap time there. So 1:33.35, 1:33.36. So they're mirroring each other currently at the moment. It looks like Chris Roberge is going to pick up the speed. He was just probably being patient around these lap cars, and now it's go time. So let's watch this. Let's watch this unfold. Let's jump in the Steven Salas's nose here real quick. Just give you an idea of how fast these guys are going.
Yeah, it was good of Austin Dilts there when he was in front of him. Just moved over to the side and let these guys continue to battle it out. They're coming up on another one. It's going to be Kobe Hartung. We'll see what he can do here. I think he's just going to let him on by.
Kobe takes the high side. He does give the bottom the preferred line to Chris Roberge. He made Steven Salas slow down just a hair, which is going to give some breathing room to Roberge.
Yeah, Roberge gained a little bit of time on him there. Kobe in the middle of the corner, kind of to make the corner, had to turn down in front of him a little bit, but right back to the outside to let Steven by right after that corner.
We got 11 minutes left in the race, so it is towards the tail end of this race. This could be the winner of the GTP series right here. So this pass, whatever unfolds in the next couple of laps, could dictate who's going to win the race. And just panning around, this is the best action going on the track. Kobe in the GT3 series does have a 7-second lead over Austin, so we're not missing much when it comes to that. We're going to stick with these GTP guys for next couple of laps, see what unfolds, and let's see if Steven Salas is either just saving his time or he's going to make a move. It looks like he's got a huge run here. Is he going to make the pass? And he made the pass. Roberge is not going to give it up easy, but Steven Salas has the preferred line on the bottom side. Now it's going to be up to Roberge. Is Roberge going to want to push it?
Yeah, they're coming up on another lap car. It looks like it's going to be Brad Dove, so this could be interesting here. What's Brad get? Brad Dove is known for not letting people by, so this could get interesting.
Brad Dove just gives him plenty of room, no sense in doing anything silly. He gives both cars the preferred lane. They both clear him. Roberge does go real wide there. He's going to lose a little bit of time on Steven Salas. Go ahead, Church.
Yeah, he shoved it into that corner there to get on the inside of Dove to get by him. That's what made him right up to the outside of that corner.
It looks like Steven's starting to put the gap on Chris. Let's see, once they come around this lap, let's see what they're running. They mirrored each other last lap. Steven Salas just got a second and a half faster than his previous lap. Let's see what Roberge is going to lay down. Steven Salas laid down a 1:31.7. It looks like Roberge laid down a 1:33.7. So yeah, I mean, Steven Salas has kicked it up. He's already at 2 seconds as far as the gap. So Chris Roberge is either happy finishing second, or he just doesn't have anything for Steven Salas tonight, because Steven is pushing it.
Yeah, so Steven's going to take your GTP lead away from Chris Roberge. Kobe Hartung is first, Austin Dilts second, and Morgan Smith third. I haven't really talked a lot about Morgan Smith, but he's having a good run. Yeah,
he's been steadily in the top 3 of the GTP class. Him and his teammate Austin, they're both running these beautiful Audi, baby blue and white Audi cars. It's team cars. They got those paint schemes. It's a good looking car. I can't tell the difference between either of them other than the numbers. So 58 is Morgan, 14 is Austin. That's how you're going to be able to tell the difference. They've been running in the top half of the field this entire race. They haven't been able to run down Kobe. Kobe does have the pace. If we're looking at the times, Austin was slightly faster than Kobe, but he is still 7 seconds behind Kobe.
Sorry to cut you off here, Ben, but Chris Roberge is in the pits.
Oh my goodness, what happened to Chris Roberge? Let's see. He went into the pits. Did he not pit earlier? He did, didn't he?
You know, yeah, I thought he did.
Yeah, we watched him go into the pits.
Yeah, they both did. So unscheduled pit stop for Roberge.
I'm going to back it up a little bit. Let's see if he hits the wall, gets in any type of accident that would prompt him. No, I mean, there's nothing. There's no reason for him to pit other than, you know what he could have done? He could have miscalculated how much fuel he needs. He could have easily miscalculated the amount of fuel. So, just for the viewers that are out there, each guy has the opportunity, similar to a crew chief in a real race, to calculate the fuel that you need to finish a race. Each pound of fuel that you take out of the car only gives you more and more speed. So it's possible Roberge just miscalculated the amount of fuel that he needed and just realized it and had to pit.
You know how we answer that question, right?
All right, well, you know how we can answer that question? Let's see if we can get Chris Roberge in the booth and have him tell us what exactly occurred. Let's bring him up here. Chris Roberge, Striker and Church up in the booth. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
What happened? Why did you pit?
I had to pit because I don't know what my tires were, and I did got up ahead of Stellis, but my tires were getting pretty bad, so I might as well pit and all that. So I had to pit to get tires.
Okay, did you pit prior, or was that the first time you pitted?
No, that was the prior one. I already did for fuel only, just to see what the tires were, and then went out and looked at it and said, oh, darn. So I just do a couple more laps with the tires I had, and then I decided to got tires now.
That's what we thought. Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the booth. We thought we saw you pit earlier and just took fuel. I thought you miscalculated the fuel and you were running short on fuel, but it sounds like the tires were giving out on you.
Yeah, it was. I was getting a little tight around the corner there on turn. So the last, second, third turn there. So I can say, okay, well, better get tires.
Better be
That
safe
makes
than
a lot
sorry.
of that makes a lot of sense why Steven got around you there. You had some bad tires.
Yeah, I had bad tires, yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, so we just wanted to make sure we're going to let you go back and finish out your race strong. You're doing a heck of a job today. Church, you got any questions for Roberge before I drop him back to where he was at?
I don't. He answered the question that I was wondering why he pitted. So, yep, tires.
You
tires,
heard it
tires.
from the horse's mouth today, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Roberge did not pit because of fuel. He pitted because of tires. Poor guy. He was doing good. But that makes sense why Steven Salas was so much faster in the lap count. Oh, and Roberge just spun as we dropped him down. He didn't hit nothing, but he
Hopefully
spun.
that wasn't our fault, but
No,
he was having
no.
a good run.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. He's not losing a position or anything. So just to recap, we are currently about 4 minutes from the final lap of this race. Steven Salas is first. Chris Roberge is second in the GTP class. These are the longer, faster cars that we're showcasing right now. Kobe Hartung still leading the GT3 series in that BMW car. So Kobe first, Austin second in the Audi, Morgan Smith third in the Audi, Tyler Hammond in the Porsche running fifth, Mark Retchen in the Audi, Brad Dove, and then Sean Atkins is in the back half of the field, but he got involved in an accident earlier today, so he's probably still fixing his car because that was a lot of damage that he experienced there. So we're going to ride around a little bit with Colby, make sure he gets his TV time. He's leading the GT3 class. He's running some good laps. He's about half a tenth faster than Morgan last lap. You see this beautiful paint that Kobe has on his car. That was painted by one of our local painters, Wesley Strait. You see it says Storm Racing. That is their endurance team name. So when they go out and race these endurance events, they run these beautiful paint schemes. I know they like running these BMW cars as well. They say it's one of the better cars in the GT3 class as far as handling. It's kind of the best bang for the buck. That and the Ferrari for the most part. But I do like how that black, blue, and red are blended in together with the Cool Wick logo on the car. Very good looking car.
Cool Whip.
Cool Wick. Wick.
Oh, Wick. Okay.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I thought it was Cool Whip as well. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But it's Cool Wick.
There's a bucking bull that he's really well known. That's got currently 48 buck-offs. His name's Cool Whip, and he's a hell of a bull. So yeah, Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. Let's jump in here with Austin. Let's see how far back he is. You can see Kobe's got at least a turn and a half in front of Austin. That equates to about 6.16 seconds in front of him. Morgan is about 16 seconds behind. Just running his pace, having a great finish. Great run, Morgan. Tyler, we haven't talked much about Tyler today. I know his grandparents like to come in and check out the races from time to time. We want to say happy Watch Tyler Racing Day to the grandparents. So if you get a chance, happy watching Tyler race. Tyler is phenomenal. He's one of our younger drivers, I believe, and quote me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's 17 years old or 16. I think he's 16.
I wanted to say 15, but I mean, I could be wrong.
I might be adding some extra beard hairs on him, but he's definitely one of our youngest guys in the league, one of the most well-liked guys in the league. He's the son of the league owner, John Hammond, but awesome guy, well-liked, an amazing driver. From what I understand, he doesn't even have his physical driver's license yet, but he wields these race cars like he's been doing it his whole life.
Yeah. Ooh, somebody in the pits?
Retchen has entered the pits.
Yeah, I caught that out of the corner of my eye. He's pulling out now.
Retchen has entered the pits. These guys, maybe the tires are going bad on these cars.
Could be. That could be.
Yeah, he's going into the pits. All right, let's see. The race should be ending shortly. In fact, we should be within the last lap or two. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in cockpit with Kobe Hartung as he takes the victory. At this point, Steven Salas as well. He's way ahead. So Steven Salas is, barring any weird circumstances, Steven Salas should win the GTP class. Okay, I didn't see Barney wave the flag yet, so he probably has 1 or 2 laps left. Here's Kobe. We're driving with Kobe at the moment. We're inside his cockpit.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I just want to give a shout out to Tim Lee at VVR, Virtual Velocity Racing. We wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for them. It is sponsored by VVR. So big shout out to Tim Lee. Shout out to Signature Esports and Jason. He does our broadcasts on Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays, I believe. So shout out to Jason. Shout out to all the Chop Shop guys. Shout out to John. Shout out to yourself. Yeah, without any of these people, we wouldn't be doing what we like to be doing. So just shout out to them. I know I missed them last week. So got to give a big shout out to Tim Lee and Virtual Velocity Racing.
So that was kind of a slick move, what Kobe did there just a second ago. He let Steven Salas pass him, and what that does is it forces Steven to go 1 more lap and Kobe 1 less lap, because in essence he's being lapped. So he just let Steven pass him at the start-finish line. This could be the last lap for Kobe and Steven together. Otherwise, Kobe would have had to run another lap. So I think that's just strategy. I saw it right as we were giving kudos to our main sponsor, which was Tim Lee at VVR. Wonderful guy. We've had nothing but wonderful experiences with Tim Lee at VVR Racing. Basically, VVR Racing is an established iRacing league. Their main objective is to build a great community. They are on Facebook. They do have a Discord. I believe they also have a website. So just look for Virtual Velocity Racing. They have a wonderful oval series, and they've just recently, I saw an announcement that they're going to be opening a super speedway series. So if anybody's out there interested, they want to run with VVR Road, which would be with us, or any oval series, definitely check out Virtual Velocity Racing on Facebook, or come to our Discord. We'll direct you where you need to go. But yeah, thank you very much, Tim Lee and the VVR family. We're always very appreciative of any support that we get.
Yeah, one of the lone battles we have on the track right now, I don't think it's for position, but it's Austin Diltz and Brad Dove, bumper to bumper. It's pretty fun to watch.
We're in car with Austin right now. Let's see if Brad Dove's going to give him the position, or if Brad Dove's going to be Mosquito, a bump. Yep, Brad Dove. I mean, he didn't make it easy on him, but I think Austin has the speed to easily get around Brad Dove. You see Mark Retchen there right behind Brad Dove coming up. I'm quite astonished that the race is not over yet, because they're over the threshold now. So they should be coming up to
Yeah, I think
some of the final laps here.
Yep.
So we'll know once Steven Salas starts to slow down a little bit, because he's the overall class leader. Now he's coming up here to the start-finish line in just a second. So we're going to jump in with Steven Salas, and let's see him take his last couple of turns. And let's see if Barney's the iRacing flag man. He's going to be the top left-hand corner of the screen right up here. Is he waving any flag yet? It looks like he's not. I didn't see him waving. Was he waving it?
No, I don't think I didn't know if he was waving it, but I think we got a battle for position here. 7th place Brad Dove and 8th place Mark Retchen. Mark's gaining on Dove here, so I think this could be for position. Oh, Mark into the wall.
Mark's into the wall. He just smacked the wall just a little bit.
Yeah, this would be for position.
He's going to get him right here in the start-finish line. Brad Dove's going to block the preferred lane. You can see Brad Dove going to the right of Mark. And what he's doing is he's taking away the inside lane so Mark can't take it. But Mark's going to do the crossover. He's going to get underneath him right here going into the following corner. Mark should be able to clear him going up the hill.
And these guys have a history, too, between the two of them. So,
my goodness gracious.
Brad Dove's not going to get it to him, but it looks like Mark's going to get it there.
You know what? That is true. They do have a history that's like oil and water between these two guys. Oh, Brad Dove going for the dive bomb. Not going to have enough speed. Retchen does close it off, but it looks like Brad Dove's got plenty of speed to stay with him. But as long as they're running clean, everybody's going to be happy. And it is for position. They're running hard for position. Let's go back to Steven Salas. Let's see if he's...
Yeah, Brad Dove's pushing it, too. He got a little sideways there in the corner.
Oh, no. So Steven just crossed the line again. So what we're going to have to do is bring one of these drivers up here in a split second and figure out when it's given in their last lap count. So let's bring up Tyler Hammond. Let's get Tyler Hammond up in here in the booth and find out, because our ticker says the time should have already run out. So we're going to bring up Tyler for just a split second. Tyler, Stryker and Robert up in the booth.
Yo, what up?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, just trying to survive. My tires have very large fall off.
You know, that's a common theme. The last person we brought up to the booth said the exact same thing, that they were concerned about tire wear. But we didn't bring you up here for the tires. We wanted to ask you a quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
How many laps are there to go? Our timer ran out. What's going on? Why is it extending it?
I don't know. I think it's plus 1 lap. It's 33 of 33.33.
Okay, so you're in the plus one. Okay, so that's what it was. So it's about a
Yeah.
five minute delay on our timer. So that's what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler, this is Tyler Hammond. Tyler, you want to give your kudos to anybody while you're up here?
And shout out to the B&B.
There you go. Baller status, boys. Who's B&B?
I think that's his grandparents.
Yeah,
Oh.
Bob and Barb.
Oh, Bob and Barb. All right, shout out to B&B. Bob, what was it again?
B&B.
Bob and
All right.
Barb.
There
Yeah.
you go. Shout out to them. We're going to drop you down there so you can finish the rest of your race. We're going to try to catch the end of the race, and then we will get the drivers up here for their interviews.
Thank you.
All right. So Tyler Hammond also talking about tires. I guess the surface is abrasive today. We did decide to run the surface. Initially, this race was going to be run with rain, correct, Church?
Yeah, that was the plan. The weather. The track is 96 degrees currently right now, so she's a little hot.
Maybe they're just running real quick lap times and they're just chewing up the tires. I mean, right now, Roberge is faster than Steven Salas, but he's lost a lap. Mark Richen just passed Brad Dove, by the way. Oh no, that was
Roberge.
Roberge. Okay, so we'll go back. Let's go back to Steven. Steven Salas right here should be crossing the start-finish line with the checkered flag.
We'd like to hope so.
Let's see him. Yep, there it is. It's waving right now. There's Brett. There it is. Congratulations, Steven Salas. Just
Tyler in
took
the
home.
wall.
Just took home the GTP race. We're going to jump in with Kobe and take a look at what he's going to do. Kobe, Austin, Morgan, Tyler, Mark, and Brad Dove in that order in the GT3 cars. As of this moment, Kobe's got about a 15-20 more seconds before he crosses the start-finish line as Victor as well. Austin is 7 seconds behind him, so unless Kobe makes a mistake, he's definitely going to win this race. Here comes Kobe, the last couple of turns. We're inside with Kobe. We just want to see. It looks like he's struggling with tires too. They're slowing down a lot in the corners.
Yeah, a lot of them are. I think that was Tyler's problem there, why he banged her off the wall back there.
Here comes Kobe taking that last right-hander down to the start-finish line. You're going to see Barney to the top left-hand corner, waving the flag. Congratulations to Kobe Hartung, winner at the VVR Road Series at Watkins Glen. Let's jump in with Austin. Here he comes. He just took the flag. There's Morgan.
So run down of your finishing order. Steven Salas is going to win the GTPs, followed by Chris Roberge. Kobe Hartung is going to win GT3 class. Second place, Austin Diltz. And third place, Morgan Smith. Fifth place will be Tyler Hammond. Or no. Fourth place will be Tyler Hammond. Fifth place will be Mark Richen. Sixth place will be Brad Dove. And then Sean Atkins will be seventh.
That's correct. Steven Salas from number 1. Chris Roberge number 2. Let's see if we can get Steven Salas in here. He hasn't had a functioning mic for the last couple of weeks. Now, this is Steven Salas's third win of the season, and we have yet to be able to interview him. So, Steven, if you're out there, you're listening to us, we want to talk to you, Steven. We got to get you on the horn. We're going to definitely get Kobe and Austin, probably even Morgan. We'll bring in a couple of other drivers, depending if Steven shows up or not. Make sure that we get them up and make sure that they get their kudos that they deserve. Wonderful race today. I mean, that was awesome. These guys did a heck of a job. It was a clean race. I didn't see many accidents. In fact, very few. The hardest ones were, unfortunately, by Sean. He struggled earlier, but he had a ton of pace before he ended up wrecking his car. But good job overall. We're going to take a quick break and bring in we're going to round up the drivers, and then we're going to have quick conversations with them, and then do our ending credits and let everybody go enjoy the rest of their Wednesday evening. So give us a second. We'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. Let's round up these drivers. I'll be right back, Church. Alrighty, we are back. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the winning driver, Steven Salas. Steven Salas, Stryker, and Robert up here in the booth, buddy. Can you hear us? You got a copy? Steven, oh my goodness. He did not. I'm going to try to drag him back up here again. Mr. Steven Salas, do you got a copy, buddy? Steven. Mr. Salas. All right, Steven Salas, we cannot hear you, buddy, so we're going to drag someone else in while you work on your microphone, and we'll be back with you here in a second. Let's bring in the winner for the previous, for the GT3 series, Kobe Hartung. Mr. Hartung, how's it going, sir? How are you doing? So, how did it feel? What went on? Give us a breakdown of what happened today. You were definitely the dominant car. You had a couple of guys chasing you down. Austin was super fast. Morgan was just as fast, but it looked like you just had too much. I mean, it showed. We were following the cars around and watching everybody pit. I wasn't sure if iRacing was messing with us because I didn't see a lot of guys take tires. I heard you say towards the tail end of the race, you did make mention to Austin that you basically won on strategy. Did he take tires? We Yeah, we were talking about how important the fueling is in these cars. If you could elaborate what the difference between 1 gallon and 8 gallons would be in speed. Oh, hold on. Let's make that correction now. Let's make that correction. Bear with me. Alrighty, there we go. We fixed the Discord issue. We're going to ask Kobe
Woohoo!
some of the similar questions we were asking him. We were obviously congratulating Kobe and letting him. We were talking about fuel and the differences between fuel and how that impacted his race. Kobe, if you could just elaborate again. You said Austin took 8 gallons more than you, and how did that pan out? I mean, did it help you? Did it hurt you?
Oh, well, it definitely helped me. The gap coming into the pits was 3 seconds, and me coming out was another 5 seconds added on to that. You know, the fuel is so important on these pit stops. If you overfuel the car by like a couple gallons, it's gonna lose you like 3, 4, 5 seconds. I mean, it could be catastrophic if you forget, if you don't check your fuel and see if you're like right on the limit to where you need to be.
We were talking about how fueling is so important in these cars. We made mention that a lot of these guys, especially the higher top tier guys, they're going to be able to calculate as much fuel as they want, and there's no sense in putting in more fuel than you need. Basically, all you're doing is just adding weight to the car. Just think of packing, additional lead weights into the trunk. It's going to slow you down. So kudos to you for making the right call. Unfortunately, Austin didn't make the right call. It would have been a great race. He had similar pace than you. He was extremely fast. Morgan Smith was just as fast. It would have been nice to see you guys battle it at the end. But again, congratulations on the dominating performance. Some of these guys we did drag into the booth earlier in the race were mentioning that the tires were a big concern. It being that you didn't take tires, how did they feel at the end?
After I pitted, it said my tires were at 80%, which, I mean, honestly, it didn't to me, because the way I drive, I just naturally save tires. So I mean, I'm never pushing like a full 100% on them. So I mean, I was able to stay up with the tires, but I did notice at the end that no tires, I was losing a lot of time in the corners and starting to slide a little more, and the car was a little hard to control.
I mean, you heard it from the horse's mouth. The tires are important. Kobe is one of those guys that know how to take care of his tires, whether he's in a road car or an oval car. iRacing is all about tires. You take care of those tires, they're going to take care of you. Robert Church, you got anything for Kobe before we send him back down and enjoy his victory?
Well, you guys pretty much covered it all. And like Kobe said, consistency, just being consistent every lap, trying to get faster and faster each lap, and he proved that today with the P1 finish. So congratulations, Kobe, and we'll see you on the next. What is the next one? What is the next one?
Where are we at next week? We might have a bye week, but the following, let's see, Where were we at this week? We're at Spa. We're at Spa. How you feel about Spa coming up? And there is no bye week, so it's next
Oh,
week.
that's a good one. That's another good one for me. I have a few endurance races under my belt there.
Yeah, so Spa is one of the more popular ones. It's similar to Watkins Glen, where a lot of these guys have laid down a ton of laps there. So it's going to be fun watching you battle. I know today we were a couple of drivers down, but I still think that you would have been up in the front regardless of who was out there today. Congratulations, Kobe. Let's make sure that you get your shout-outs. Give your shout-outs, bud.
Sir, shout out to you too for putting on this broadcast. Shout out to you, Striker, and John, and the guys of Chop Shop, our great leaders for putting on this show for all of our series. Thank y'all for that, and thanks for the field and everyone who turned out. Good racing today. I didn't see too much problems or controversy or anything. Congrats to Roberge for taking the win in the other class. But yeah, appreciate you guys.
You got it, buddy.
Steven Salas.
It was Steven Salas, yeah, so we want to make sure that we get credit. We got to get him up here in the booth. Kobe, we're going to drop you down. We want to talk to Austin and talk to Roberge. We don't want to cut you short. It's always a pleasure to get you in the booth, Kobe. You're a staple up here. Congratulations. You're going to have a good points day, so heading into an elimination race, second to the final elimination race, you're going to be in a good position to chase these championships. So good luck. We're going to get Austin down here, and then we'll catch you in a little while.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Hold on. What was that, Church?
I said, way to go for Kobe and getting that win, being consistent.
Yeah, I congratulations, Kobe. He was definitely good today. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Austin here. I'm going to introduce him here real quick, and Robert Church is going to ask him a ton of questions. Let's pick his brain. Let's find out what made Austin so good today. Hey, Austin, it's Stryker and Robert Church in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how are you guys?
What's going on, buddy? Congratulations on a superb second-place finish. Man, you had pace today. If you could just tell us what you needed to get Kobe.
Needed to make some better choices when it came to pitting.
Yeah, from the sound of it, you just took a little bit of fuel, too much fuel. It slowed you down. Not only that, it gave him a larger gap coming out of that. But prior to that, it was like peanut butter and jelly, man. You guys were together. It looked like it was going to be a great race at the end. It still was an awesome race, but I think had you not made that mistake in the pit road, you might have had something for him.
You know, I think I was really hoping to try to chip away at his lead, but even whenever he was only 3 seconds ahead of me, Colby had some serious pace. So he really had that sense of when I started to get it within striking distance, he would just put the pedal to the metal and kind of take off that 3/4 tenths. And so props to Colby. I honestly love the Glen, so I do a lot of racing there, and I don't meet a lot of guys that are quicker than me there. So huge props to him.
Churchy, give Austin some love.
Yeah, you just joined us here not too long ago, and ever since you joined us, you've been running pretty well. Congratulations on P2. It sounded like it just came down to a pitting strategy there. Same like tires were real bad. But the question I've got for you is Spa's next week. How do you feel about Spa?
I mean, just like probably Colby, I've got a lot of experience there, so hopefully I can make some better choices in the pits and make it a closer battle at the end. Maybe make him nervous a little bit.
Well, there you heard it. It's going to be a good battle there at Spa between those two. These guys got a lot of experience there. Austin, you just joined us, man, and you're running well and you're running good. Can't wait to see what you can do in the future. Give your shout-outs.
Hey, thank you guys. Doing a professional broadcast, doing a great job, and thank you for Morgan Smith. He's the lead of the WBM guys, and he's always making our liveries and stuff, so big shout-out to him.
Before you go, I wanted to make mention of that with Morgan. Morgan had a wonderful race as well, just as fast as you guys up front, but we were enjoying those paint schemes.
Yeah, no, he does them. That's his brother's company in real life, so we've got a real sponsor for the race team, and we're lucky to have him and all his abilities in the paint booth.
Yeah, we tried to showcase you guys as much as we could. You definitely were running up front, so you got a little bit more play time than Morgan. But Morgan, man, he put up a great show. He ran up front the entire time. He stayed up front. He's stayed out of trouble. So we want to make sure he gets kudos as well. Morgan Smith in the 58 Audi. Beautiful, beautiful paint schemes on both cars. Make sure you shout out that sponsor again. What was the name of the sponsor?
It's webuildmemories.com.
Webuildmemories.com. Make sure you guys check out that website. Again, Austin, awesome race. We want to congratulate you on your second place finish. You are new acquisition to the Chop Shop family. We appreciate you here. We thank you for coming out here. You guys put up a great race week in and week out. Your guys are clean. You're fast. Great attitude. So it's definitely, you've enhanced us. And we appreciate that. We want to make sure that we give you kudos for that. So congratulations on your second place finish. I know you're going to be fast at Spa, so it's going to be exciting to watch you out there.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you guys.
You got it, Austin. Congratulations again. Enjoy your second place. Maybe next week you can get in the top. A podium's never bad. However, I'm expecting you to, get up front and stay up front next week. So you might be my pick. So make sure.
Yeah,
you
no, I'll be gunner for the top spot. That's for sure.
You got it, Austin. Robert Church, anything for him before we move him down?
I don't. Can't wait to see what you can do next week, Austin.
Hey, thank you.
You got it, Austin. There he is in that beautiful, beautiful 14 Audi machine. We're going to bring up Chris Roberge, a local favorite. Chris Roberge in that beautiful burgundy Cadillac GTP car. Congratulations on your second place finish, Roberge. What did you need to run down Steven Salas today?
I should have got the tires when I was fueling, but I just thought at least I got ahead of him when I pitted to get fuel. I just beat him by the exit of the pit, so I just barely beat him. So if I took tires, it might not make it well because tires takes about 20 some odd seconds extra with the tire change and everything out. So, guess I gotta think my strategy next time.
You did a great job today. As always, you're one of our favorites to root for. You're such a nice guy. You're a great driver. At one point, I personally said you didn't have anything for Steven. Steven seemed to have a little bit better pace than you throughout the run. However, you surprised us towards the tail end of the race where just like you said, you got around him. You were ahead of him. You were setting pace. He caught up to your bumper, but you were able to pull the gap on him for just a split second. And then you said those tires started to go. So you played it safe. And you ended up pitting. So nothing to balk at. You're still in the hunt for this championship. You just came off of a win last week, your first win of the season. We still want to congratulate you on that for a great victory that you had at Panorama last week. Do you think you had enough pace for Steven? I know you said the tires kind of went out. Could you have done anything different? Maybe taken tires earlier or short pitting? What do you think you could have done?
Just try to keep it smooth because it was a little with cool tires. It makes the car a little wiggly on the turn. Going in entering the corner, exiting the corner. It's just a little slick on it. I had to take it really easy on them. I don't want to just wreck my car and end my race there. So I just had to just take it easy. Couple times I almost wipe out, but at least I saved it. So the rest of it is, I still took tires when I was fueling because it might give me time, but I was worried that he's going to pass me way too fast ahead of me and all that. So I just took a risk. But second place is good and nothing else.
One more question before I pass you off to Robert Church because I'm sure he's got a couple questions to ask. How are you liking this Cadillac overall? Do you think you made the right choice jumping into this GTP car, or if you could do it again, what would you do? Would you drive another car? Would you stay in the Cadillac? Give me a feeling of what the Cadillac's doing for you.
The Cadillac handle really well on corners. Of course, I like the faster cars. So So GT3s, I'm okay with it, but I prefer GTP cars. I might try a different car maybe next time. I don't know yet. I just gotta think of what ones I really like and what a really good car that I can handle very well and more better setups for it.
Yeah, so that's the biggest pitfall that the GTP drivers have been experiencing this season. So if the fans out there listening to us, you're not aware, this is an open series, which means these guys can create their own setups or bring in a setup and obviously race that setup for the day. Well, these GTP cars, being that they're so new and iRacing hasn't necessarily been at every single one of these tracks, these guys are driving with some base setups. So not only are these cars the fastest car in the road series, they don't even have the right setup sometimes. So this week, did you run a Watkins Glen setup or did you put something else in there?
Yeah, run the Watkins Glen setup.
Okay, so this is one of those tracks that iRacing does have a setup for. You looked fast. You did a heck of a job. I want to congratulate you on your second place finish. The car looks amazing. It's always a pleasure to have you in the field. Congratulations, Chris Roberge. I'm gonna let Mr. Robert Church, aka the Beaver, handle it from here.
The Beaver. Nah. Chris, always a good job, man. You've got to be one of my favorite Canadian people. I mean, between you and Dave, but no, good run, man. I thought you had it there. Unfortunate you had to make that last pit stop for those tires. I think that was the deal right there. If you didn't have to make the pit stop, I think you would have. I don't know. Tires maybe would have been worn out too much, but you guys had a hell of a battle. Those lap cars got out of the way for you, so you could run. Um, Good run, good second place. You can really wheel that GTP car. You got your win last week. How do you feel about Spa next week?
I just gotta practice. Hopefully, there's a practice coming up for it, so I can practice more on it. Probably get a good handling. I don't know if it's gonna rain or not, so I just gotta figure if it's gonna have any other problems with it yet. But it's good. You gotta practice a bit to get used to that track because it's a big track too. So and a little risky on some areas there.
Yeah, I think that's another track I haven't really seen or been to, so it'll be interesting to watch that. Striker, is it supposed to rain?
I don't know. We'll see what Mother Nature decides for the spa. To be honest with you, we've been trying to stay away from the rain as much as we can to allow an equal playing field. The reason is if we put rain, these GTP cars they struggle. It's crazy how the lack of traction these cars have. They have so much horsepower and no traction in the rain. So what we've been trying to do is stay away from it. iRacing recently has incorporated rain into the series, and it is a wonderful addition. I mean, I personally love the rain. The weather system is freaking awesome. So to answer your question without over elaborating, I don't know. We'll double check with the weather system, and we'll see what Mother Nature decides to put up for Spa. Probably not, but we like to keep everybody on edge, so there might be a possibility. We'll see.
P2 finished tonight, Chris. Give your shout outs.
Big shout outs to the VVR here for broadcasting this. Thanks for Striker and Church for doing this too. Big shout out to Top Stop Racing for the racers here. Learning a lot from all you guys. Big shout outs to Heart for letting them join with them too. And a big shout out for the godson and my wife.
Absolutely. Got to get love to the family. Heart to Heart is another racing series Chris Roberge races with. Another wonderful league. If anybody's ever interested, I think they run. Is it trucks they run, Chris?
Yes, trucks, and they do run late models too. Like today, they run every Wednesday. They run their late models. And every Saturdays they run the truck series.
Yeah, so we are here at Chop Shop. We want to give credit where credit is due, right? And these Heart to Heart guys, they're an amazing league. If anybody's interested in running with them, just like the VVR guys, the Virtual Velocity Racing, you guys have great partnerships with us. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us. We want to make sure we get as much participation as we can into these leagues. Chris Roberge is a asset everywhere he goes. If he's running in that league, that means it's a good league. So Heart to Heart Racing, look them up. Virtual Velocity Racing, look them up. And if anything, you guys want to come over and hang out at the Chop Shop, definitely look at us. ChopShopRacing.net is the website. You can find us on Facebook as well, Chop Shop Racing, and our Discord links are on our YouTube channel. We appreciate everything that you've done, Chris. Congratulations on your second place finish. Let's see what you can do in Spa moving forward. You're definitely in the hunt for a championship. Congratulations. You're going to have to pick up your game a little bit, I think. Steven Salas, it was super fast today, so I want to see you and him battle for that championship. Make sure that you're ready for Spa. I know you're going to be ready.
Oh yeah, I should be.
All right, buddy. You enjoy the rest of your afternoon. We'll catch you here in a second.
Oh yeah.
All right,
You know,
Robert, what are we thinking?
Yeah, not to forget, we never even mentioned Friday. I believe we run at Las Vegas, don't we?
Absolutely. So the Cup Series, Chop Shop Racing, this is our Wednesday series. We run the Road Series on Wednesdays. Friday, we run a Cup Series that is fixed. We want to make sure anybody that's out there that feels that they can run with the best come out on Friday. Currently, we have I think it's a prorated fee to get in. It's about $10 to get in to race with us on Friday. This week will be Las Vegas, so it's going to be super fun. Now, we are broadcasted by Signature Esports on a Friday, Mondays, and Tuesdays. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to look out for Jason at Signature Esports. He's the best in the business. We love his broadcast. We learn from him. He is the best. Make sure you subscribe, like, and interact with his broadcasts. But yes, to answer your question, we are Friday at Las Vegas in the Cup Series. Monday, we're going to the last race of the season, which is Eldora in the Is it the dirt models or are we doing the sprints this week?
It would be the pro late models, and we've got a bye week next Monday due to Memorial Day weekend. But we come back on the last race for Eldora on, I want to say June 3rd. So that will be the last race at Eldora in the pro late models. Since it's the last one of the season, we will probably make it a little bit more interesting with the lap count. Not sure what we're going to do on that, but yeah, it's been a good dirt season. A little bit more participation. Hopefully next year we can get some more guys rounded up that want to do it. But I think we'll be doing right now the story is that we're going to be doing the 410s and the super late models. So if anybody out there is interested in that, we'll be getting something together here soon. As in like a schedule, just to see what happens. So yeah, man, seasons are going by quick.
Absolutely. Time flies when you're having fun. We want to make sure before we check out, I want to give credit to where credit is due. I want to give credit to all the sponsors that we have here at Chop Shop and Chop Shop TV at YouTube. At least we're going to start one by one. Fuego Paints, C2 Gaming, My Three Sons, Track Racer, The Baller Status Boys, Speedy Trophies, Admin Box, Geomax, Virtual Velocity Racing, MCI Graphics, Stay Tuned Sports. If you haven't already, subscribe to them. They have a awesome sports broadcast on YouTube at Stay Tuned Sports. Make sure you check them out. Chopping It Up, we have our own podcast as well with the Eagle, a.k.a. Ryan Went. He used to handle the broadcasting duties here in Wednesday. He's just taking a break. He'll be back. The Eagle's going to be back. Everybody's excited about the Eagle coming back. So hopefully we get him back in the booth quick. He can continue his podcast. Everybody seems to love those. Robert Church, I want to give you a huge shout out for coming up and broadcasting with us under the Chop Shop TV banner. We thank you very much for everything that you bring. Your track facts are always loved and appreciated. We didn't do a lot of track facts today. I think we got a little bit excited overall with how the race was going, but be on the lookout for some of these track facts that Robert Church does. You broadcast on Mondays? What is it? Tuesdays?
No, we
No,
broadcast on Saturdays.
Saturday.
Saturdays I broadcast with Jason over at Signature Esports.
Is it the
We
heart
do
to heart?
it's the Heart
Yeah,
to Heart Truck League, and
yeah.
that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. We've been doing that, and been some good racing there with a good group of guys. Um, I don't know. The rumor has it that Church will be out there broadcasting some dirt racing. Whether it be our Monday nights for Chop Shop Dirt League or somewhere else. My background's more dirt racing, so I would know more than that when it comes to that. So I don't know. We'll see. It's a good possibility. So
We're
yeah.
we're trying to keep this man in the car. He's got 190 wins on the dirt series, so he's being modest at the moment. He's enjoying being up in the booth. It's a complete different experience from being a driver than being up in the booth. But at this
Don't get too happy there. So I got 185, 186 now. If I remember 185, if I remember right. But yeah, chase for that 200 win.
That's
And,
183 more than I have. So don't be modest there, Church. This man is a legend when it comes to the dirt series. So make sure you guys check him out. He's going to be running the last race of the season with the dirt series with Chop Shop. It's a great league. It's only going to get better. That is broadcasted by Signature Esports. I'm going to be taking a bye week here for the Memorial Day weekend, but we'll be back the week after at Eldora for about 100 laps. Then we revisit Tuesday the truck series. That is in the middle of the playoffs, man, and that's going to get heated. We just had a cutoff. The points are about to be updated. Everybody's going to know where they stand. So that was a cutoff race. But again, we just want to make sure that we thank everybody out there, all the admins at Chop Shop that make this possible, everybody that's helped us, Jason at Signature Esports, all of our sponsors. We appreciate you. We thank you. We appreciate you hanging out on our Wednesday. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. We will be racing. Any last comments before we shut this down, Church?
yeah. Next Tuesday, we're on a bye week on May 28th, which is next Tuesday. We're on a bye week for the truck series. So our next race coming back will be June 4th at Auto Club, and it's the playoff of this round 2 of the playoffs. And so after that race, only 12 drivers make the next round. So make the round. So
Big
it ought to be
cutoff.
interesting. It ought to be interesting and be a lot of fun.
Check it out, guys. Check it out. We're here for you. We're an open book. Come in here and just check it out. You're going to read one page. You're going to want to read the whole book. Come over and visit us at chopshopracing.net. We'll welcome you with open arms. We appreciate everybody out there. One huge shout out to the admins, but we'll do them by. I'm going to make sure that I do it by name. Mark Retchen, Mark Odell, Ryan Went, Chris Roberge, Jerry Culver, Robert Church, and last but not least, our fearless leader, John Hammond. Without you boys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do today. And all the wives and family members that allow us to do this, we thank you. We're enjoying it. We're having a hell of a time. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, guys.
Yeah, right before we go, we just got to give a huge shout out to John Hammond. We don't talk about him enough. I believe, he works so much and hardly has any time to race, but he's still out there grinding and making Chop Shop what it is today. Even if he can't race that much. So yeah, big shout out to John.
We love you out here, John. We appreciate everything that you do. You are the Jedi Master for the Chop Shop boys. We wouldn't be here without you, buddy. So you enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. We're going to go check out now. That was great racing today at Watkins Glen. Thank you very much for spending your Wednesday afternoon with us. We will catch you next week at Spa for another hour event. We should have a full field at that point. All the top racers racing here at Chop Shop. Make sure you come join us. You guys have a wonderful afternoon.
Peace.